The day the coins refused. The city hummed like a restless machine. New York, 1923, when elevators still had attendants, jazz was scandalous, and every newsboy's voice carried across the damp cobblestones of Broadway. It was a Thursday, gray and wind-cut, the kind of day when the Atlantic salt rode inland on the mist. The streets glittered with rain and neon reflections. Men in felt hats marched shoulder to shoulder toward Grand Central. Typists hurried with newspaper-wrapped lunches. Streetcars rattled over iron rails. And in the middle of it all, standing like little brass confessionals, were the city's telephone booths. They were polished wood and glass, narrow enough to fit one person and a secret. Inside, a faint smell of metal, perfume, and cigarettes lingered. Each had a black rotary phone with a mouthpiece like a trumpet, a coin slot, and a small metal instruction plate. Deposit 5 cents for 3 minutes. Operator will assist. No one suspected that before the day was over, every single one of 28 booths across Manhattan would jam at the exact same second, a coincidence that would puzzle engineers, reporters, and even the U.S. Army Signal Corps.
32. The Call of the City. The ringing echoed through the corridors, hundreds of bells clattering in perfect sync. Technicians poured from offices, bewildered. Phones on desks, in hallways, even payphones in the lobby, all ringing together. Kane grabbed one. "Who's there?" A flood of overlapping voices answered, men and women, old and young, laughing, weeping, whispering. "Leonard," they chorused, "thank you for listening." Leonard, trembling, approached one of the phones and lifted the receiver. "Clara?" For a brief instant, all the other voices hushed. "I'm here," she said. "You're part of it now," Leonard whispered. "We all are," she replied. "Every voice that ever called, every moment that touched the wire. It's not death, Leonard, it's connection." The sound grew distant. "Don't be afraid when it happens again." Then silence. The ringing stopped. The city hummed as if nothing had occurred. 33. The Aftermath. The next morning, Bell Laboratories sealed the experiment. The recordings were classified as anomalous resonance events and buried under layers of bureaucracy. Kane was promoted to lead researcher on the condition he never spoke publicly about what he'd heard. Leonard retired for good. He moved north to a small house near the Hudson River, where he spent his final years listening to shortwave static, claiming that sometimes, just sometimes, he still heard Clara's voice in the noise. When he passed away in 1961, they found his notebook open on the desk. The last line read, "Every call is an echo of longing. Every signal wants to return home." 34. The Discovery. Half a century later, in 2007, a graduate student named Mara Valente discovered a forgotten tape reel while digitizing the Bell archives. It was labeled only Coin Event 8.3 KC 1957. When she played it, she expected noise. Instead, she heard the faint hum of machinery, followed by a soft voice, an old man's, gentle and deliberate. "Hello, Clara. Can you hear me?" And a reply, distant but clear, "Always." The recording ended with a faint mechanical heartbeat that slowly faded into silence. 35. The loop continues. Mara uploaded the digitized file to a research server for archival. Within minutes, the system crashed. Every connected computer displayed the same unexpected waveform, a spiral pattern of overlapping tones. In the IT department, one technician joked nervously, "Guess the network's haunted." But later that night, security footage captured something impossible. The lab's old rotary phone, unused for decades, began to ring. No one answered. The ringing continued for exactly 3 minutes at 8:16 p.m. 36. The listener's epilogue. If you walk down 42nd Street today, you won't find a payphone anymore. They were removed years ago, relics of another age. But every November, on the 8th, around 8:16 p.m., a few New Yorkers claim to hear a faint sound beneath the street noise, the rhythmic pulse of a dial tone, soft and persistent, as if the city itself is breathing through invisible wires. Some say, if you stand very still and listen long enough, you'll hear a woman's voice, distant but kind. 3 minutes for a nickel. Tell someone you love them before the line closes. Most people smile, call it folklore. But others, those who felt a static tremor in the air, who sensed the electricity pause between the streetlights, they know the truth. The city remembers, and sometimes it calls back.